Okay, let's go. 19. Uncertainty. Question. How does not knowing what you want stop you from taking the next step? No one has a crystal ball. Certainty doesn't exist. It doesn't need to exist. The wo- the words of authors, the words of author Dan Millen come to mind. Faith means living with uncertainty, feeling your way through life, letting your heart guide you like a lantern in the dark. You can't know what your future holds, but you can follow your heart. You can let you can let it guide you through the dark. You might not be used to listen to your heart. You might be used to follow your mind and living a logical life. But you have to notice how illogical that logic is. But have you noticed how illogical that logic is? It doesn't lead to happiness. Uncertainty is given. At any given point in time, your life can be thrown upside down. Your goal, your goal then is not to seek certainty outside of yourself, but to consult your heart. If you've been dismissing your heart, it will take time to reconnect. Allow it to take the time it takes. The bottom line is that you do not need certainty in order to take the next step. Not knowing is not not knowing is not an obstacle. This question is about letting go of the need to figure everything out. Because what if because what if you allowed yourself to basking the uncertainty in because what if you allowed yourself to bask in the uncertainty of your life? What if you allow what if you allowed life to take care of itself while you followed your heart? Try it for a day and you'll notice how much lighter you feel. Possible roadblocks. You don't have to know what your passion is in order to take the next step. The only thing you have to do is to listen to your heart and see what's next steps you feel like taking. Sometimes it feels like you are walking in a fog. Sometimes it'll feel that you're walking in a fog. You can only see a few feet ahead of you. If you stand still, nothing happens. But take just one step forward and you'll see things you didn't see before. This is how life works. When you take the next step, another step will come clear. So focus on taking one step at a time. The problem is that this might be uncomfortable, but the discomfort is a sign that you are on the right path. Time to write. Let's explore this question in more depth, shall we? And remember to have fun, explore, and play. And remember to have fun, explore, play, and go crazy. Write upside down, listen to weird music, do something you haven't done before. It'll help open up your mind. The main question is, how does not knowing what I want stop me from taking the next step? When you're done there, you can move to the prompts below. If I let go of needing to find my passion, I would. If I pretend to know what my next small step was, it would be. What I'm truly interested in right now is there is no right or wrong way to answer these questions. Whatever makes sense to you, whatever makes sense to you is fair game. 20. Hidden benefits. Question. What are the disadvantages of living a passionate life? It might seem like there are no disadvantages to getting what you want, but if you're honest with yourself, you will uncover something entirely different. A simple example of a simple example of this would be the fact that many people want to be successful, but they're afraid of putting their work out there. And in most cases, they would have to do exactly what they're afraid of to become successful. Many are not willing to do that, so they hold themselves back from getting what they truly want. This question is all about exploring the downside of success. What will happen if you succeed beyond your beyond your wildest dreams? What will what will your friends, family, and peers think? What could go wrong? What do you think you have to do that you don't want to do? This will help you uncover some of the hidden blocks that keep you from taking action. So often we sabotage. So often we sabotage ourselves because we're afraid of what might happen if we succeed. If you didn't have any apprehensions about living a passionate life, you would already be doing it. There is something holding you back, and you're about to do this, and you're about to discover what that is. In my case, I was afraid. I was afraid of feeling. I was afraid of failing. I was scared that if I failed, I wouldn't have anything to look forward to. I thought failing would crush my dreams. Our minds have a tendency to come up with disaster scenarios that seem real. But what happened is that it paralyzes you. It paralyzes you, and you end up failing without even having tried. Once I began exploring what was going on, I realized that failure was not possible as long as I was moving forward. Even if I failed, there was no way for me to know that failing wasn't exactly what needed to happen in order for me to get to my final destination. You just can't you just can't know what's around the corner. What seems like a disadvantage might turn into an advantage down the road. Possible roadblocks. This question can bring out some uncomfortable realizations. You might think that you are ready to follow your passion, but are you really? There's nothing wrong with admitting the truth. In fact, it's liberating. Once you let go of needing life to look a certain way, you can let it come together all by itself. You don't have to try and to try to try and control life. It happens by itself. Stop trying to control everything for a day, for a day or two. Instead, let things happen. Let life take care. Let life take care of the seeming disadvantages of outrageous success. Easier said than done, I know, but do your best. Time to write. Are you ready to dive into the benefits of not living the life of your dreams? Sounds weird when I put it like that, doesn't it? It might sound strange, but once you explore the question, you'll uncover some nuggets. When you are ready, begin by begin begin the main question. Begin with the begin with the begin with the main question. What are the disadvantages of living a passionate life? Then play with the prompts below. If I was successful, I would be afraid of the benefits of get the benefits I get from not following my passion are if I were to take the next step, I would. You did use a pen and paper to explore this question, right? If not, please do it right now. Put this book down and implement. You won't get anywhere by reading. Sure, you might be influenced in a positive way, but if you want real results, you have to be willing to put in the work. 21. Fears. Question. What would you do if you weren't afraid? This question is similar to number 14, where we talked about the fear of failure. So let's approach this question from a different perspective. Imagine looking through the key to a keyhole. Your vision is limited. Now put the key in the lock. Turn it. Open the door and walk through it.